Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. It is time for the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Wing Sprint Car Series tonight from the Eldora Speedway. Brett Wheeler joined alongside Tyler Harris as we're already qualifying is done. We are right into heat racing action. It's heat race number 1. Trading Panes will load up. Just give it time. But Tyler, it's good to have you back here on Ultimate Dirt TV.
Happy to be back, and we are right into racing action. Look at Kenny Hoffman leading the way early in heat race number 1.
Yeah, Alex Sazinski in that Black Diamond Motorsports number 23 machine. He'll battle his teammate of Mason Hannigan. Hannigan with a slide job, and then Ernie Williams Jr. right there in the 91. Of course, your pro late model winner from just about 10 minutes ago. Less than that, here's Dylan Yeager sitting in 6th position. 3 down, 7 to run. Heat race number 1. Kenny Hoffman leading the way from old record Ross Kaiser. Ross Kaiser hard into the concrete wall. He's going to lose a ton of ground and ton of speed as here comes Hannigan diving down low into 3 and 4. Once again on Alex Sazinski.
Battling for that last transfer spot, 3 car transferring out of this first heat race into the automatic heat race, or rather feature event. The rest of the cars will go through the remainder of alphabet soup. That to be determined. Alex Jasinski looking to battle back after a difficult performance in the 360 race last night, but transfer battle going on right now in front of our eyes.
Yeah, this is really a good test to see where the drivers are at when it comes to the World Championship Pro Qualifying Series. Again, next Monday night, we'll be right here at the very famous Eldora Speedway. Catch all the action live on Top Split here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Hannigan and Yeager, a couple of drivers that have held those World Championship license, and especially on the sprint car side of things. Hannigan has had to run the last 2 seasons in the World Championships. Meanwhile, Dylan Yeager, he's already qualified for the World Championships in the sprint car, so he's already got that license. He's basically just coming out here, and it's basically just a bit of a test and tune. We've got 2 to go.
Hannigan contact with Straczynski, and they go a wrecking down the front stretch.
Oh, there goes Josh Steinke as well. And unfortunately, no yellows in the heat races, which means we've got a lap to go. Kenny Hoffman leads the way. We're actually going to bring up the qualifying results here in just a few moments' time. But we've got Ross Kaiser into the concrete wall. Thankfully, he's got a bent back to Andrew Hauser. But Kenny Hoffman down into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. He's got a couple of lap cars in front of him. They're all Black Diamond Motorsports teammates as well. Poor old Mason Hannigan. Unfortunately, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Black Diamond cars in heat race number 1. So, of course, we're going to quickly go through while the cars finish up their laps. As we're going to we'll have a look at the qualifying results first, just to give people an idea on who qualified where. So, qualifying results coming up first. So, that's your qualifying results. Kenny Hoffman, Gunnar Harris, Tim Smith, Blake Giglio, James Eden. So, we've got 5 heats on the program. Ross Kaiser, Clayton Tilley, Blake Majulis, Evan C., Aiden Forster. Heat 1 results are official. They're coming up on screen now. Hoffman, Kaiser, Hauser go to the show. Miller, Yeager, Williams, Hannigan, Steinke, Sazinski, and Cordell will all find themselves in consolation race. Heat number 2 lines up like this. Gunnar Harrison, Clayton Tilley in row number 1. David Allen and Chase Wolfe in row 3. Tanner Petit and Mel Dunn in row 3. Row 4, Michael Farron and Austin Drucke. Then we go back to the 5th row. Andrew Allen alongside Joey Lindgren. Tyler, who do you like in this one that you see?
Well, Gunnar Harris had a really impressive showing last night at Eldora, and it's going to be interesting to see if that translates from anything from the 360 to the 410. Clayton Tilley, certainly one to watch as well. Tanner Petit is in the top of the point standings, currently sits tied for 3rd with Mason Hannigan, so he's going to be one to watch here if he looks to improve his position in series points.
Well, there's a lot on the line for some of these drivers. Not only is it points series for the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Wing Sprint Car Series, we've still got the likes. I wonder where Tyler Shell, but we've still got the likes. Blake Majulis, Evan C., James Edens to come through in the next couple of heat races. So to say that one heat is stacked, you look at this field and pretty much every heat race is going to be stacked full of drivers that have had World Championship licenses, whether it's been in sprint cars or even late models. With the likes of Blake Majulis.
You got that right. How many cars do we have checked in here with us here tonight?
Close to 50.
So 50 cars, so quite an extensive alphabet soup here. Some of those drivers like Hannigan and Straczynski really going to have to battle their way through here. We'll see if any of those top drivers that we expect to be toward the front have that same sort of detriment to themselves, or if they're going to go ahead and improve their position early on here tonight.
Well, it's only a matter of time. We'll have to wait and find out. Here we go. Heat race number 2, Gunnar Harris, Clayton Tilley. Lead us off down into turn number 1 and 2. There goes Chase Wolfe around the outside of David Allen. Tanner Petit. Allen and Petit made contact. You and like you said last week, no yellows in the heat races, so it's straight up racing for 10 laps as there goes a slider from Clayton Tilley on Gunnar Harris, but Gunnar Harris goes back to the number 1 position.
Still plenty of grip down low. Last night we saw that line go straight up against the wall and basically no cushion left to run, but not the case here in heat race number 2, 3 laps in. Gunnar Harris using every little bit of the track he can find with the final position battle for that final transfer spot. We see a car go up into the wall. That's David Allen.
Yeah, he was trying to avoid the 14 machine of Chase Wolf, trying to slide up and take and push him and squeeze him up into the outside wall. Meanwhile, Clayton Tilley, Gunnar Harris has jumped the cushion, got into the wall, and now here comes David Allen to the inside. Chase Wolf again trying to work it down low. Keep an eye on Tanner Petit in that 24, going to make it a 3-car battle for the final transfer position. Now you got 4 cars, 2 by 2. What a slider by Petit.
Gunnar Harris, a really veteran move there, blocking that middle line because he knew the traffic was coming, and he may have just saved himself from having a position battle. And we've got cars tangled up in the backstretch. Heavy contact going down the backstretch into 3. We stay green, though.
Here comes Michael Farron in car number 22, sitting in 5th position. You got to wonder how much damage is on the 24 and the 01 machine is David Allen. As David Allen, he now gets past 4 positions, number 4. So Allen goes back to 5, and well, he may just go back just a little further. Chase Wolf, Joey Lindgren out of heat race number 2. We've only got 2.5 left to run. Austin Drucke from 8th up to position number 3. So he's at a +5 in this heat race already, as Clayton Tilley has opened up a sizable lead, nearly 1.5 seconds from Gunnar Harris, who sits in 2nd.
Got to keep an eye on those drivers who are going to keep their nose clean through these early stages of these races, not just in these heat race here as the white flag now flies for Clayton Tilley. He is checked out on this field, but these drivers who can keep their noses clean throughout the entirety of this race are the ones you're going to see toward the front at the end of the 40-lap feature event.
Well, checkered flag is out in heat race number 2. Clayton Tilley, a dominating performance in the end, gets the win over Gunnar Harris in 2nd. Austin Drucke in 3rd. Michael Farron, Mel Dunn make up your top 5. We'll take a look at those official results coming up here in just a few moments. So coming home in 6th position was David Allen, Tanner Petit, Andrew Allen in 8th. Chase Wolf, 9th. Joey Lindgren rounds out the top 10. Heat race number 3, another 10 cars will line up on the racetrack. Timothy Smith and Blake Majulis. That is a front row to get juiced up about. Braden Finsel and Matthew Croakey in row number 2. Aiden Beerline, Brenton Veers in row 3. JP Scheider and Connor Spear in row 4. Robert Satterfield and Bryce Lucius will make up the 10 cars in heat race number 3.
Keep your eye on Bryce Lucius. He's definitely one to keep your eyes on as he sits in the top 12 in points right now. Timmy Smith, last night's winner at the Eldora Speedway in the 360s. Blake Majulis, the top-rated iRacing sprint car driver, actually might be the top-rated driver in all of iRacing for that matter. So that front row is definitely a stacked one. Don't overlook Aiden Beerline as well in the 5th starting position.
Tim Smith, he's had a World Championship license in sprint cars. Blake Majulis has. Aiden Beerline has. So there's 3 drivers in this field. Braden Finsel, Matthew Croak, 2 experienced drivers when it comes to the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting. Not only 410 series, but also running the 360 series in previous seasons as well. So again, they know how to get around. I'm pretty sure, I want to say that maybe Braden Finsel, I want to say, has picked up a 360 championship along the way.
He very well may have. I don't 100% know on that one, but I would definitely take your credit for it. That's for sure.
No doubt Josh will let us know in the chat. But here we go. Tim Smith, he's been super quick the past couple of weeks in the World Championship Pro Qualifying Series. Can he make it, can he make it a run here tonight? We'll find out. Heat race number 3, as he's going to immediately go straight to the top side. Keep an eye on Beerline, who's gone down low, starting from that 3rd row, and he's already looking to move directly into the main event. Majulis shuts the door down into turn number 3.
They drift up into 3 wide, coming out of turn number 4 with Fensel holding on now, moving can move for 2nd, and you see Blake Majulis just pounding that outside wall with that right rear. He's got to be careful, keep that rear axle intact.
Well, just keep an eye on the drivers that jump the cushion in turn number 3 and 4, and once they get into the wall, they keep their foot on the gas, and it almost looks like it gives them a little bit of a speed boost. So watch for any more drivers that happen to do that. it just, I noticed it in heat race number 2. There it is right there with Matthew Croak. Look at the run that he got there on Braden Finsel. As again, we watch the battle for positions number 4 and 5. Here comes JP Scheiterer in car number 5, looking to transfer directly into the show. But at the moment, there it is. Look at the run that that JP Scheiterer got around the outside of Matthew Croak.
Absolutely interesting to see how that's come to fruition here. You don't see that in real life, but here on sim racing, it's certainly paying its dividends. Perhaps maybe at a Port Royal Speedway you see it, but not too typical that you see it at Eldora in real life. As Beerline holding on to that third and final transfer spot. We got a car hard into the wall. Looks like Scheiter is going to drop back into 10th.
Well, as again I mentioned, drivers running the cushion that just jumped over it. It happened with Braden Fincher there on the previous lap. Meanwhile, Blake Majulis, you're about to have your hands full here with the 13 of Aiden Beerline. Majulis goes low down into 3. Beerline will go to the cushion. Doesn't jump it, but he really gets a run on the exit of turn number 4, less than 0.2 of a second. Here it comes, the battle between Majulis and Beerline really going to start to heat up here in the last 2 laps.
Beerline, a little bit of contact there, exiting turn number 2 down the backstretch as the last 2 laps are upon us now. Beerline going to have to keep it consistent here if he wants to run down Blake Majulis.
Well, he's going to have a tough time to make it 0.3 of a second, but out of turn number 4 already, a 1.2, 1.3 second advantage is the 86 machine of Timothy Smith. Majulis and Beerline nose to tail down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. The final time checkers are out and Timothy Smith going to win. Majulis slides up there on the exit of turn number 4 to take away the momentum from Aiden Beerline. Majulis home in 2nd, Beerline 3rd. Finsel comes home in 4th, Croak in 5th, Lucius, Satterfield, Spear, Scheiterer and Veers will make up your heat race number 3 finishing results. And again, those results will come up on screen just to confirm that there are no post-race penalties, as heat race number 4 will line up like this. Blake Giglio lines up alongside Evan C in row number 1, John Helms and Logan Rumsey in row 2, Mel Garing and Jonathan Paquette in row 3, Chuck Sowers along with Ryan Avila in row 4, Hunter Cottle and Garrett Pepiat will make up the 5th and final row for heat race number 4, Tyler.
Yeah, definitely got to keep an eye on Helms. A heartbreak city for Helms after Timmy Smith pretty much led the majority of the 360 race last night. Helms finally got the lead in the closing laps of the race, but ran out of fuel. And heartbreak city for John Helms. But Evan Say, definitely one to keep your eye on here. A former champion, a 3-time champion, I believe, for that matter. He is definitely one to keep your eyes on here. Giglio has been impressive in the early stages of this season. Merle Gehring out of Oil City, Pennsylvania, also going to be interesting to see how he participates here with this stout heat race number 4.
Well, Evan C, the current iRacing world champion in the super late model division, but also just to note the CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car World Championship Pro Qualifying Series. Clayton Tilley, 2nd in points. Kenny Miller, 3rd in points. Blake Giglio in this heat race, starting on pole. He sits 4th in the points. John Helms, who starts 3rd here tonight in heat race number 4. He's 5th in points. Tim Smith is here. Mason Hannigan, Ross Kaiser, Alex Szynski, Aiden Forster, Tanner Petit. Those drivers, you've got, what I just named, about 15 or 16 of them, and they are all inside the top 20 in the point standings for that World Championship to go for that run at the World title. Heat race number 4, we're ready to light them up and light them loose, and we're underway in heat number 4.
Keep your eye on Ryan Avila starting in that 7th spot as well. An impressive run last night before disaster struck for him. He's going to be fast here tonight as Giglio leads the way early here on lap number 1.
Giglio from C down into turn number 1. Where does C choose to make that move for the race lead? Will he go low into 3 and 4 this time? No, he's going to stay up on the top side of the racetrack. Now cuts it back down to the middle. Goes right through the slick. Now slide job coming from Evan C. Giglio, will he work it back to the inside? Yet you bet your bottom dollar he will, and you got a battle on for the race lead. Keep an eye on Logan Rumsey. He's no stranger to a victory or two.
Logan Rumsey with the best seat in the house, holding confidently to that 3rd and final transfer spot, but he's not going to settle for that. He wants to battle for that 2nd spot now as Giglio is up high, Rumsey down low. He's going to have to retract and replan if he wants to make another attack for 2nd.
Well, again, Logan Rumsey, another World Championship former pro driver, has done it in the sprint cars. Now he looks to the inside on Blake Giglio as they work down the back straightaway, and the experience is just about to pay off. There's the run on the cushion. Giglio just jumped the cushion, not so bad as what we've seen previous drivers do in the previous heat races. Now Rumsey completes that slide job, and now Rumsey tries to track down your race leader of Evan C, who finds himself half a second in front as we've got 6 down and 4 to run.
Rumsey definitely looking impressive, but that battle for fourth going on right now between Ryan Avila and John Helms. Avila bumping up to that 4 spot now, started 7th, so he's +3 on this one, but Helms not done yet. He's going to battle back to the inside. Huge slider coming through 3 and 4. Helms retakes that 4th spot.
Yeah, as the top 3 have pretty much got themselves sorted into a direct transfer to tonight's A main. It is the battle for a better starting position in tonight's B main. Avila slide job there on John Helms. Helms works it back to the inside, half a car between the pair as they work down into turn number 1 and 2. Slider line from John Helms. Where does Avila go? Avila goes to the cushion into turn number 3. Will he stay glued to the cushion? He does, and he gets the run until the white flag is out.
Blake Giglio does not have a rear view mirror, but he's going to be happy with what he sees if he could see it. Big John Helms and Avila going at it, but Evan Say has checked out, and he will pick up your checkered flag here for heat race number 4.
Evan C gets the win from Logan Rumsey. Blake Giglio will be the top 3 drivers that will transfer directly into the show. For the likes of John Helms, Ryan Avila, they'll go to some consolation races with Garrett Peviat. Mel Garling coming home in position number 7, I believe that was. Let's take a look. Yes, Chuck Sowers, Hunter Cottle, and Jonathan Packett as we look forward to our 5th and final heat race of the night. And, well, they're going to line up like this. James Edens lines up on the pole position. Aiden Forster will start on the outside of the front row. Eric Whitner alongside Tyler Shell in row number 2. Positions number 3 and 4. Ethan Toda and Randy Fritsch make up your 5th and 6th starting positions. Lane Snook will start position number 7. Austin Halsey out of position number 8. Liam Garrison and Hayden Harvey make up your top 10 or your 10 starters in heat number 5.
Should be an excellent heat race. Every single one here I've come to realize is just stacked through and through. James Edens, Aiden Forrester, Tyler Shell, Ethan Toder. Unbelievable, Blake. It's really something to see. Incredible talent in this division, in this Apex Autoglass 410 Sprint Car Series. This is round number 3. We're going to Cedar Lake next week, but we've got to keep the eye on the prize here at the Eldora Speedway. Plenty of racing still here to go tonight.
Certainly is. This is round number 3 of the Apex Autoglass and Tinting 410 Winged Sprint Car Series. I want to say season 4 or 5. You?
Not sure. Yeah. Sparky will let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's around season 4 or 5, but it might have been season 6. I know they've been around for quite a while. I think we covered their first 2 or 3 seasons before. Obviously, we took a break, but I tell you what, it's good to have him back here on Ultimate Dirt to be James Edens, a long-time sim racer. I've seen and raced against him for the last, and I can say this last decade. That's old school.
Tyler Shell definitely one to keep your eyes on here as the green flag is getting ready to fly. 3-time points champion in this series.
So then it might be season 5. Josh, we're just trying to figure out how many seasons Apex has been going for. As green flag is out, James Edens. He's your race leader from Aiden Forster. Then you go back to Eric Whitner in that black and red 17 machine. That's the top 3 only for the moment, because Tyler Shell, something that we haven't seen anybody else do, and that was roll the bottom all the way around through turn number 1 and 2.
Yeah, Shell definitely found the moisture down low. May have been a good setup choice here. Not sure if he's going to drift up to the high side, if he can clear this move on Forrester here through 1 and 2, but he's definitely like on the low side in 1 and 2 as Eric Whitner now in the 4 spot on the outside looking in.
There you go. This is season number 6, so 5 completed seasons in the 410 Wing Sprint Car Series, and it's the 85 of Tyler Shell. Again, looking to the inside there on Aiden Force as they all try to track down the 52 entry, the Swindell Speed Lab. K1 Race Gear entry of James Edens. And you go back and look at Lane Snook, Eric Whitner. They're having their own little battle for positions number 4 and 5. So there's a couple of little battles developing here, Tyler, at different parts of the racetrack for different positions.
Lane Snook looking good early here through halfway point of heat race number 5. Tyler Shell in second. Oh, getting a little bit close there, coming through on that battle for the 4 spot.
Yeah, there was definitely contact between Whitner and Snook. Snook in the 23, Whitner in car 17. Then they got Ethan Toto in that 23 team, just trailing in behind him. Meanwhile, back up front, Aiden Forster into the wall, jump the cushion. That will give Tyler Shell a clear run to the back of the 52 entry of James Edens. And like I said, Tyler, we hadn't really seen anybody run the bottom side until we got to heat race number 5. Well, now he's opted to go back to the cushion. Well, experience certainly coming out for the 52 entry of James Edens.
Yeah, Edens has checked out really at this point. Tyler Shell trying to close in. It does appear that he has the speed as he's starting to close here in the last 2 laps of this race. Going up to the high side now, as you just made mention to, but it seems like he's definitely trying to find his place while still gaining ground on Edens.
I'll call it now, the big slider into 3 and 4 on the final lap, unless, knowing James Edens and the experience from James Edens, he's probably going to protect that slide line, but you betcha your bottom dollar that... well, had he had a close enough opportunity, Tyler Shell would have definitely thrown it checkered flag waves. James Edens will be victorious in heat race number 5, and now we move to consolation races. This is the part where it can get very exciting as we start to eliminate some of the drivers from this round of the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Winged Sprint Car Series. So James Edens, Tyler Shell, Aiden Forster will be your top 3, and we'll make those official as we bring up those results right now. So an E, a D, a C, and a B. Who's going to run the alphabet soup? Who's going to have their wheat bix and go all the way? We'll take a look at your ultimate dirt TV starting grid just so I can get a good indication of who and how many are going through.
Yep, we're going to have 4 transfer from all of our consies here tonight, except for the B main. The B main will autofill. I'm not sure exactly what that'll be. 22 cars will start the feature, so we'll be able to figure that out here in due time.
It'll be top 7. So Tyler, why don't you go through and lead us off your E-main results, or your E-main starting grid.
E-main starter grid will line up like this. Hunter Cottle will start on the pole with Randy Fritsch to his outside. Inside row number 2, starting third here, it'll be Cruz Caudell with Joey Lindgren starting in position 4. Brandon Veers will start 5th here with Jonathan Paquette starting in 6th. And Hayden Harvey will start scratch on the field in position number 7 in the Vanderpool Racing entry. So 7 cars making up Apex Auto Glass and Tinting E-main here tonight. 4 cars will automatically transfer to the D-main here as the Chevy Silverado is on the track leading the field.
Well, Hayden Harvey is a driver that has been victorious here on Ultimate Dirt TV previously in sprint car competition. I want to say maybe 3.6s or either 4.10s. It'll be one of those two going back to, I want to say maybe World of Thunder race, but he's probably, well, considering we've got Cruz Caudell and Joey Lindgren out, I think, and no disrespect to the other guys, maybe Hayden Harvey looks like if he can get his stuff sorted out. Again, I haven't seen Hayden Harvey for a number of seasons. I don't know how long he's been back on the sim or how long he's been continuing on the sim. He may probably be the only one that could probably run the soup, but as the night goes on, Tyler, you got to think it's going to be hard for these guys to make their run through the E, through the D, through the C, through the B, and get into that A.
Yeah, we definitely didn't see much of that going on last week at Peevely I-55 Speedway. That's just a little bit of a different animal, a tight bull ring there, a lot more racetrack here to work with tonight.
Well, 10 laps is on the board for your E-main in the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Wing Sprint Car Series here at the Eldora Speedway. We're underway. Top 4 will make it into the show, so unfortunately for one of these drivers that are on the racetrack, they are going to be sent packing them all. They're not afraid to go 3 wide down the front straightaway.
3 wide indeed, and Hunter Cottle in the hot seat, if you will, right now in position number 1, and Jonathan Paquette on the outside looking in. He's going to have to make some moves here, but he's got 8 laps to do it.
Well, there's still plenty of laps for these drivers to get into the show. We'll get into the D main because this is your E main. Your leader is Hunter Cottle from Hayden Harvey in the 55. Randy Fritsch in 3rd. Brandon Veers in 4th. And Jonathan Paquette is the lone car at the moment. That will look like if we were to finish next lap, although we've still got 6.5 to go, it looks like he may be the only driver to miss out. But in racing, well, anything is possible as Hayden Harvey shoots around the outside of Hunter Cottle as Hayden Harvey now goes to the number 1 position.
Wasn't expecting too many position battles in this E-main, but these drivers do want to do what they signed up to do, and that is race here tonight. But if that's me looking on the in the top 4 right now, I might just be holding my ground and trying to just advance to the D-main, give myself a chance to see another day. Don't do too many risky moves here. Just get through and do what you got to do to advance here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about taking it race per race, not getting ahead of yourself. And, well, not getting ahead of himself is Hayden Harvey, who's had to start dead last in this field, and he's already into the number 1 position, what essentially was meant to be a 7th starting position, turned into a 5th starting position. He's still passed the entire field in the space of what was about 6 laps. He goes through the middle and 1 and 2. Right now, probably a good opportunity for Hayden Harvey just to test right now for these last couple of laps, and maybe just get that setup dialed for the next race of a D main.
You got that right. And these drivers that are running this Alphabet Soup have a unique opportunity too to see how this track progresses through the night, so you can kind of make those adjustments to the race car as you move on. So perhaps a little bit of a unique advantage there, but it's still Alphabet Soup, not much of an advantage at all.
Well, as we work down the back straight away for the final time, your E-main about to be complete into turn number 3. And out of turn number 4, it's going to be the 55 of Hayden Harvey getting the win from Hunter Cottle in 2nd. Randy Fritsch will come home 3rd. Brandon Veers home in 4th. And unfortunately, that means Jonathan Paquette in the 48 will find himself the first car eliminated from the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Wing Sprint Car Series, along with Cruz Cordell, Joey Lingren, 2 of the drivers who did not make the start for the E-main. Your D-main up next, and that will look like this. Connor Spear in the pole position, starting alongside him is Chuck Sowers from position number 2. Liam Garrison rolls off out of position number 3. Alex Zazinski rolls off out of position number 4. Chase Wolf will start from position number 5, and JP Scheider lines up out of position number 6. Then we go back to your E-main transfers. Hayden Harvey will start from position number 7. Hunter Cottle in the 8th starting position, along with Randy Fritsch in 9th, and Brandon Veers will make up your top 10. And tough going for Alex Zazinski right now, as he's having to come from the D-main.
Yeah, he took the words right out of my mouth. It's not too often that you see Szerzynski starting in a D main, but here it is. Anything can happen at the house that Earl built. A nice aerial view there of the Eldora Speedway. Tell you what, have you ever been to Eldora there?
No, I would love to get over there.
You're still across the pond, right? You're over in Australia, I presume?
Yes.
Yep. A little bit of a difficult situation, especially with the past couple of years, but more of a turn 1 guy myself.
I'm just an anywhere kind of guy. I'll take wherever. But actually, fun little fact, I was actually meant to go to the Knoxville Nationals for the 360s and 410s a couple of years ago. But as we were sort of getting everything arranged, good old COVID hit, and we weren't allowed out of the country, which took that out of contention.
Well, talk about being out of contention. I'm seeing Connor Spear dropping a little bit there. Is that a issue with timing and scoring, or did he? Oh no, he's up there again on the front row. I was a little concerned there for Spear.
Yeah, I don't know why it's got him down at the bottom of the leaderboard, but it'll get itself sorted out. It might just take a couple of laps. So, folks, don't stress at home as we get set for the D-main. Another 4 cars to go through in what is going to be 12 laps around Eldora Speedway, 6 miles. We are underway. Green flag in your D-main, and it's going to be the 57 there of Connor Spear.
Connor Spear leading the way here early as timing scoring will have to catch up and get moving here. 3 laps now complete with Hayden Harvey on the move in the top spot. Alex Szerzynski battling in the 3rd spot now in the 23 car. And who was in front of him there in the, I believe it's the 33. Is that Chuck Sowers?
Chuck Sowers, yeah, that's Chuck Sowers on the bottom. So now timing and scoring going to update. And just to note, Hayden Harvey come from the from the E-main. How he started near the front row, I'll never know, because he should have been starting on the outside of the 4th row. So maybe there was some post-race penalties from the heat races or whatnot, but it doesn't matter. Hayden Harvey is running in 2nd position. Connor Spear, your race leader. Alex Szerzynski as Hayden Harvey going to look to go for the race lead into turn number 3 and 4.
Not being complacent with the 2nd spot. He's got some time to make a move, and it looks like he's going to try to do that. Alex Szerzynski in 3rd, so he's definitely in a good position. Chase Wolf in 4th, the final transfer spot to the C-main if he does. Schneider, Sowers, and Fritsch got to start making some move here as we are halfway through this D-main.
Yes, here comes Hayden Harvey again with a run on Connor Spear out of turn number 2, working down the back straight away. It'll be halfway home with Hayden Harvey, and I'm going to give that one to Connor Spear there to the naked eye. It was very close between Spear, Harvey, and now here comes Szynski again. Szynski, he's probably had a horrendous couple of weeks here in the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Sprint Car Series.
Yeah, Szynski sitting 9th in points right now, so definitely looking to improve that position as Spear and Harvey just going at it one by one, crossover after crossover. It is entertaining. Here comes Szynski back to the outside now of Spear. Through 3 and 4 they go. Spear going to go to the outside. Szynski going to drop down low. Not enough momentum yet, but it looks like he's definitely going to build up for another move here in the closing laps.
Keep an eye on JP Schuyler in that number 5 car, and also sitting in 5th position. So he's the first car on the outside looking in. Chase Wolf now dives down to the inside looking for that insurance position here on Alex Szynski. Szynski works it back to the inside. Good battle between Szynski and Wolf as they work down into 3 and 4. 2 laps left to run at the start-finish line.
Does not look like Connor Spear is going to be done here yet as Hayden Harvey still your leader, but Spear looking to try to make a move here as another slider there from Wolf on Szynski, but Szynski crosses back over, or back under rather, on turn 2. Down through 3 and 4 they go. They both go to the high side now as the white flag flies.
1 lap left to run in your D main. Again, top 4 going to go through. It's going to be the 55 of Hayden Harvey, Connor Spear. Both those drivers, pretty sure one of them come from the E main, but Hayden Harvey going to be victorious. I'm going to have a look quickly. The 4 is out. The 72 is Randy Fritsch. He's out. And the 25 of Hunter Cottle is out. So it is only going to be Hayden Harvey, the man that is going to be able to run the entire Alphabet Super. Well, he's got a good chance at going through the C main, but he's got to get through a number of cars. There's your D main official results. Harvey, Spear, Szynski, and Wolf will be the top 4 drivers that will transfer to your C main. And Tyler, let's have a look at your C main starting grid.
Eric Pepiat will start on the pole here for this Apex Auto Glass and Tinting C main event here with Ethan Totter to the outside. Mason Hannigan, Little Hurricane starting 3rd with Tanner Petit starting in position 4. Robert Satterfield will start 5th with Merle Gehring the 4th starting in the 6th spot. Austin Halsey will start 7th with Joshua Steinke in 8th. Andrew Allen 9th. Hayden Harvey will start in that 10th spot. Connor Spear 11th. Alex Szynski 12th. And Chase Wolf will start in position number 13, the unlucky spot. But nonetheless, when you advance from a D to a C, any spot at that point is considered a lucky one.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, to get that lucky next spot into the B main, again, it's going to basically what we see over the past couple of races. It's going to be top 4. Although they're going to have an extra 2 laps to get it done, and with the track being this slick, you'd almost got to think that, does the track crew come out and give this a reset in the warm up? Let them run the warm up in for 3-4 minutes, and just provide some of the moisture back into the racetrack, or would you prefer it to be black slick like this from start to finish?
Yeah, I don't know. That's definitely up in the air. If it does get black slick, we saw last night in the 360 race, some drivers were able to move around a little bit. Timmy Smith being certainly one of them, using that low side in the early stages of the race. But it really just came down to who can keep the car straight, who can keep the car off the wall as much, and keep their nose clean, if you will. Try to avoid catastrophe. Some of the drivers making some desperate moves to advance their positions when possible.
All right, well, looks like Mason Hannigan is being sent to the tail end of the field after an incident in the heat races. The incident goes back to when he took out his teammate, or made contact with his teammate of Alex Szynski, who happens to find himself in this one. Green flag is out, 14 laps is the distance, so 7 miles around the virtual Eldora Speedway. Garrett Pepiat will lead the way from Ethan Toder in 2nd position. Robert Satterfield and Tanner Petit. That's the moment. That's your top 4.
Robert Satterfield up to the 4th and final transfer spot now. Merle Gehring, on the outside looking in, but Steinke not wasting any time, up from 8th to the 6th spot, battling for that 5th spot.
And here comes Alex Szynski as well, looking to the inside of his teammates. So Steinke and Szynski, they work wheel to wheel. They're 3 wide down the back straight. Hayden Harvey, there's some contact there with Robert Satterfield in car number 6. And poor old Hayden Harvey, unfortunately, he's going to be stuck there in 11th position. And he's still got a fair bit of work to do. But thankfully, he's still got 11 and a bit laps to go. Here comes Hannigan to the outside of a 3 wide battle down into turn number 3.
Unbelievable racing there. Szynski putting the move on Hannigan, but Hannigan not having any of it. He battles back to the outside to turn 1, goes right up to the wall. Car in front of him into the wall. That's Satterfield.
The 57 of Connor Spear and the 23 of Alex Zasinski both made contact with each other as they went to the cut-down line, as it was Robert Satterfield who got stuck into the concrete wall and jumped the cushion in 1 and 2. And of course, the old Constantina effect. Hannigan on the outside looking in. He's got his teammate Josh Steike. And again, we see the likes of Steike, Hannigan, and Zasinski in this one. They were all in their same heat race earlier on in the night, so these Black Diamond members, I'll tell you what, teammates of mine too, by the way, they're not having a good night here at Eldora.
Not at all, but I'll tell you who is. Chase Wolf up from 13th to the 8th spot, was running in 7th before Merle Gehring got around him. Carr making contact. Carr's really starting to make heavy contact with that outside wall. We just saw the 24 do it as well. That's Tanner Petit.
Yeah, there was just a lap ago was Steike into the back of Ethan Toda. Then Hannigan got into the back of Steike. And boy, tell it that I'm very well to save it. Satterfield trying to put the move there on Mason Hannigan. Hannigan would absolutely be hating this today because he's one spot out of a transfer position. He's got to catch up to his teammate of Josh Steike. And Steike, he's very quick around here. But I'll tell you what, Gary Papiat into the Tanner Petit, into the wall. Papiat, your race leader down into turn number 3. Again, Papiat jumps the cushion, and that's certainly going to open up the door. If Mason Hannigan, if Petit, Toda, and Steike, if those 3 cars battle, although we've got 4 laps left to run, if those 3 cars continue to battle, that will really bring in Mason Hannigan late in this race.
Which is interesting because you talk about Hannigan and Petit. They are currently tied for 3rd in the point standings, and here we are watching them battle it out here in the C main. Petit's got to hold on. Hannigan on the outside looking in. Definitely not going to be a good points run here tonight if he can't advance that one position over Steinke.
Well, we've got 2 to go at the start-finish line for Garrett Papiat in car number 47. It's 0.8 of a second between Josh Steinke and Mason Hannigan. That's your battle. That was the split between 4th and 5th position. Remember, top 4 go through to the main event as we go white flag. Papiat's out of fuel. Oh my, Papiat's out of fuel. He is a lap short of being into the B main. And of course, that will give the potential win to Tanner Petit as long as he can work away through turn number 3 and 4 at the start-finish line. Tanner Petit get a win from Ethan Toda, Josh Steike, and Mason Hannigan. I tell you what, a bit of lady luck on his side, and he will get a transfer into tonight's B main where we take 7 cars in 16 laps. That is a massive moment in what could be a massive moment for later on in the points season when it comes to those final standings.
You got that right. Unbelievable. We saw some fuel issues last night in the 360 race, and here they are already striking in the C main. Tough break there for the driver, Garrett Papiat, who was leading the way, had it in the bag, but unfortunately a decision cost him the win there, and it's cost him a chance at B main and an A main.
Well, speaking of your B main, it is going to be 17 cars, 16 laps, top 7 will go through, and they will line up like this. Kevin Miller and Michael Farron in row number 1. Braden Finsel and John Helms in row 2. Lane Snook and Dylan Yeager in row number 3. Mel Dunn, Matthew Croak in row 4. Ryan Avila and Eric Whitner in row number 5. Row 6 is going to be Ernie Williams Jr. and David Allen. Row 7, Russ Lucius and Tanner Petit, your B main winner. Row 8 going to be Ethan Toda and Joshua Steike, and row 9 by himself at the back in 17th position is Mason Hannigan. And with 17 cars, 16 laps, top 7 go through. Just again, these races just continue to stack up on top of each other. It is only going to get better when the A main comes on the 15 drivers that we've already locked into the main event.
Got that right. Talking about alphabet suit drivers who are advancing currently, none of the original E or D main drivers are in this C or B main right now, rather, for that matter. But Petit, Toder, Steinke, and Hannigan are going to be one to watch here back in the field. It'll be interesting to see if they can make their way up. Definitely, they got their work cut out for them, but you got some heavy hitters in this one, as you just made mention to. Dylan Yeager, winner just a little bit ago in a late model, is now in a sprint car race. He was the winner last week at I-55, so keep your eyes on the number 53 of Dylan Yeager.
Well, you go back to last week, he actually won the late models and then come out and won the sprint cars and done it. Doing it, running the bottom side. I'm pretty sure he picked up like 8 or 9 positions and got the win. I've seen it in the World Championship Pro Qualifying Series just this past Monday, where JD Brown done a similar sort of thing to what Dylan Yeager did, and of course Yeager won the A main previously or tonight, just before coming here in a late model. So you go back to Thursday night racing, and Dylan Yeager, he's 3 from 3 in late models and sprint cars. Now he's to keep hopefully a potential 4 from 4 alive. He's got to get through this B main.
Right you are as the green flag flies. Kevin Miller off to an early lead in the 27. Braden Fitzel, rather, in the second spot with Fair in third. John Helms in fourth, looking for retribution after last night's heartbreak.
Well, again, we'll keep an eye on that 48 entry of Dylan Yeager. Into the wall he goes. Matthew Cronk 3 wide. Here comes Ryan Avila in that 49 machine for Speech Up 51. Avila diving down to the inside. It is busy right now for that final transfer position. You could really throw a blanket over. Look out, there's some contact. And oh no, there goes Lane Snook in car 23. Multiple cars upside down. David Allen, Mel Dunn involved in that one as well. But again, we stay green. There'll be no yellows until we get to a main competition.
No yellows indeed in Finsel. Definitely the damsel in distress there, looking very good. Rather, I should say the Cinderella story now as he leads the way here. Kevin Miller now drops to third as he is in a battle with John Helms.
Keep an eye on Ernie Williams Jr., the Black Diamond Motorsports blue and yellow machine, the 91. He's going to move to the top side in front of Tanner Petit, jumps the cushion, and again stays in the throttle, and doesn't really lose all that much ground. And have a look at the 22 of Mason Hannigan, working through the middle of the racetrack at the moment. Hannigan 2 spots out, but I tell you what, he's got 4 cars in front of him all over the racetrack.
Ernie Williams Jr., another driver looking for retribution as he ran out of fuel during the feature event last night as well. Ryan Avila, though, looking impressive, working his way up through this B main here as 7 laps are now under the books, rather. We've got 9 to go, and Brandon Finsel still leading your way. Keep your eye on that battle for the 4th spot between Tanner Petit, Ryan Avila, currently Ernie Williams Jr., your final transfer spot as of now.
2 drivers you just mentioned. Look at 2 cars in the wall. Cronk and Whitner, they come together on the front straight away. We're talking about Hannigan moving up through the field. He's plus 10 at the moment in 7th position. He was plus 8 before I was going to mention this, but how about Tanner Petit? He started position number 14. That was your C main winner, and right now he is battling for 2nd and 3rd position. Right now resides in 4th, but he's got Kevin Miller and John Helms just in front of him.
Definitely keeping a close one here as Ryan Avila also keeping it close. He's going to try to go to the outside of Petit. He's going to check up and try to go a crossover move on the inside now, going down the backstretch and into turn 3. Ryan Avila battling with Petit for that 4th position. Ernie Williams Jr. on the outside looking in as well.
Yeah, Ernie Williams Jr., he loves running the cushion, no matter whether it's here in Knoxville. If it's got a cushion and it can be lent on, that 91 will go upstairs. Now we're going to go to the middle of the racetrack. 11 down, look out. Boy, oh boy, Petit Williams certainly didn't miss him. 3 wide, Hannigan run on the low side, Avila there. Couple of 51 Esports drivers and a couple of Black Diamond Motorsports guys. Here comes Kevin Miller on the top side. Look out, you've got a hungry pack of wolves behind you. Avila makes contact. Oh, this is getting all sorts of chaos.
Chaos indeed. It's definitely coming all to a fruition here. Braden Fensel, still your leader. He has checked out John Helms, even for that matter. Definitely looking comfortable right now. That battle for position through 3 through 7 is just unbelievable. And Bryce Lucius now going to get involved in the mix.
Well, he's up into position number 7 as Ethan Toda is on the outside looking in. But I tell you what, Toda wants to make this one. He wants to put that 23T into the big dance. And, well, I'll tell you what, Kevin Miller, he might be the unlucky participant here after running inside the top 3 from the majority of this B main. He's now going to fall 1 spot out of a transfer. White flag is out for Braden Finsel, who is already on his way down the back straightaway.
Toder also advancing from the B main, started in the 15th spot. He is up to 5th, so he is plus 10. Here's the white flag flies, but we have our eyes on our leader.
Well, checkered flag will come out. Braden Finsel will be victorious. John Helms 2nd. Mason Hannigan plus 14 from 17th. Dead last to position number 3. Tanner Petit coming from the C main as well. Plus 10 positions will come home 4th. Ethan Toda plus 10 from 15th to 5th. And Bryce Lucius from 13th up to position number 6. That's plus 7 on the night. And then Ernie Williams Jr. getting that 7th and final transfer position. Unfortunately for Kevin Miller, Michael Farron, Steinke, Snook, Avila, Whitner, Croak, Dunn, Yeager, and Allen. 8th on back is going to be sent packing. I can tell you just quickly, as you can see on the racetrack, it has been reset. These drivers will have, I want to say, realistically, if you've got 22 cars out there, it shouldn't take all that long to work into the racetrack. But I tell you, this is probably a good move to reset this track and really give these drivers a real good opportunity to make those passes in the midway point of this race and make that racetrack just so much better when it comes to the back half of the race.
Yeah, there's going to be no guessing here at this point. The bottom and the middle will be there, especially in the early stages of this race, and even in the late stages as well. We will have to wait and see, but definitely going to redevelop that high line. It's going to allow these drivers to use a little bit of a cushion here in the first, say, 20, 30 laps of this race. It's going to be a 40-lap race, so I agree with you there. It's definitely a good decision to go ahead and rework this track and allow the drivers to have a good, fresh track to race on.
All right, well, with that being said, what we are going to do here on Ultimate Dirt TV, we're going to step aside. We're going to play some music. There's no use talking about what this racetrack could or should be like, so we're going to let the drivers work the track in. When race control are ready, we are going to be ready to go into our main event. I believe it's going to be the distance of 40 laps here tonight, so you're looking at around 20 miles, a half mile. Another round of the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Winged Sprint Car Series. We'll be right back on the other side of this. Your A-Main up next.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I'm the king of rock, there is none higher. MCs should call me sire. Come on, my kingdom, you must choose fire. I won't stop rocking till I retire. Now we rock the party and come correct. All sets are on time and rhyme connects. That's the right to flow and to elect. And other rappers can't stand it, but give us respect. I wanna rock.
Riders on the storm.
And the music was good and the music was loud.
All right, we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV coverage of the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Winged Sprint Car Series. Brett Wheeler joined alongside Tyler Harris as we get set for the 40-lap main event, and we're going to go through your starting grid from back to front. Starting position number 22 is going to be Ernie Williams Jr., and starting position number 21, it's Bryce Lucius.
Ethan Totter will start in the 20th spot with Tanner Petit starting in the 19th position.
Starting from position number 18, it's Mason Hannigan to his inside from position number 17, John Helms.
Braden Finsel, your B main winner, will start 16th with Aiden Forrester to his inside, starting in position 15 out of the state of Michigan.
Blake Giglio lines up at a position number 14 to the inside in car number 13 from position number 13, it's Aiden Beerline.
Austin Drucke will start in position number 12 with Andrew Hauser to his inside, representing FSI Motorsports.
Tyler Shell lines up the 85 for Elbows Up Sim Sports out of position number 10. He's inside the Slick Sim Sports number 41 from position number 9. It's Logan Rumsey.
Blake Majulis will start in position number 8 with Gunnar Harris to his inside in the 54 car out of the great state of Texas, starting 7th.
Row 3 to the outside, the Momentum Sim Sports car number 4. It's Ross Kaiser from position number 6 to the inside. The Swindell Speed Lab car number 52 from position number 5. It's James Edens.
Outside row number 4, or round number 2, starting in the 4th position. That'll be Evan Say starting in that position, and Timothy Smith, one to keep your eye on here tonight. Inside row number 2, starting 3rd tonight.
And your front row for tonight's main event, outside the front row, driving the 51 from Perth, Western Australia. It is Clayton Tilley to the inside the pole sitter in the car number 1 car, or the 11. It's Kenny Hoffman, as we have got 40 laps on the board. Tyler, who do you like in this one?
Who's not to like in this one? My goodness gracious, a stacked field of cars here as we get ready to roll green.
Well, if you're talking official racing, it's nearly a 6,000 strength of field as the fireworks go off. We're racing. We've got somewhat of a fresher racetrack as Kenny Hoffman going to lead the field in car number 11 down into turn number 3 and 4. But here comes Clayton Tilley as Tilley looks to lead lap number 1. He does, as we've got 39 to go.
Love the touch of the fireworks. They're still going here on lap number 2. Unbelievable. Here's Clayton Tilley out of Australia going. Kenny Hoffman out of the great state of Pennsylvania. The Keystone State in 2nd. James Edens in the 3rd spot with Timothy Smith in the 4th spot. Timothy Smith was able to find the low side early last night in the 360 race. Looks like he's running the low side in the early stages of this feature event.
Now you see a lot of the drivers working on the inside, but as more drivers work to the bottom side, it's only going to wear out quicker. So with the track already starting to slicken up, a number of different racing lines too starting to develop here at the Eldora Speedway. 4 down and 36 to go. Tilley's got a stranglehold on this race at the moment, but it is very early on. James Edens runs in 2nd. Battle on for positions number 3 and 4. Smith holds on to that 3rd spot from Logan Rumsey as Rumsey works back to the inside. Then you go back to Kenny Hoffman and Evan C. They work wheel to wheel down the front stretch.
Finsel in the 13th spot right now. The B-main transfer, the B-main winner for that matter. Aiden Beerline in 12th, looking back through the field to try to start to see those drivers that are going to make a move here early here on lap number 7. Evan C. and Tyler Shell going at it for position number 6. A lot of position battles throughout the field as cars running middle, low, and high. 3-4 different groups of racing here at the Eldora Speedway.
Yeah, we've only got one coming. I tell you what, I wish we had about 3 or 4 as we go yellow for the first time. As is there a car? Oh, I think there might have been an incident with. It looked like Tilley and Edens could have been going for the lead, but we go yellow. I'm going to see if we can get a look here at your NLRA instant replay. Ernie Williams Jr. and Andrew Howes, a couple of drivers that may be having some dramas. As there's Williams in the 91. 3 wide down the 4 wide down the front straightaway. Sometimes 4 into 1 doesn't go.
That's good math. That is good math. Accurate description there is Ernie Williams Jr. definitely getting tangled up there. The 37 car also getting tangled. So just kind of nowhere to go and just getting a little too jumbled up.
So did you just see that? So that replay. So the 37 of Hauser. That's Andrew Hauser. Just watch Clayton Tilley here. Ready? Watch Tilley. So he's going for the big slider line down into turn number 1. Has to check up. And bang. The right rear absolutely annihilates that concrete wall.
Yeah, definitely not a good start. I'm not sure if he's going to hold on to it or see if anything broke. Yeah, he's going to stay in the lead. He's going to stay out. So hopefully no critical damage there for Tilley. Hard to say for sure, but I guess time will tell.
Well, we'll find out. Lights still flashing on the safe car. The pace truck is still 2 to green. Well, I tell you what, Tillian, if we go through this field, just from memory, and I may miss one or two, but if I look through this field and I look at who's had or who's got a World Championship license, then let's bring up those license details here. So we've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 have a current World Championship license. Clayton Tilley's had one, so that's 7. Tim Smith has had one, that's 8. Mason Hannigan's had one, that's 9. And I think that was about it for the old timing and scoring. And Ernie Williams Jr. and Ross Kaiser, they've each had one as well. So you're looking at close to half of this field has or have held a World Championship license, and that's racing at the top level of iRacing.
Unbelievable. Definitely a good division of racing here, a good series of racing as we go back to green. Clayton Tilley takes off an early advantage through the bottom side of turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, we're going to try and keep an eye on that 51 entry. Again, there was hard and heavy contact with the concrete wall just as the yellow came out there, and we'll see what kind of effect that will have on that race car as he goes to the top side. Again, jumps the cushion in turn number 1 and 2, and there it is. He'll lose the race lead. Now he'll lose second position, may even lose third as he tries to shut the door on Kenny Hoffman as they work down into 3 and 4. 3 wide. Here comes Evan C now around the outside. So some significant effect and significant damage happening, as you can see on the 51, as he starts just to slip back just a little bit further and further away.
That he does. And look at Gunnar Harris in the 6th spot now. Tyler Schell in 7th. Blake Bajulis 8th. These cars are going to start moving forward. I tell you, a car that's dropped a little bit. Timothy Smith started in position number 3, I believe. Now drops to 10th. But this is a long race. Definitely not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Fuel burn-off is going to become a thing. This track is going to change. A lot of these drivers may have planned for that here in the early stages of this race, though. It is James Edens leading the way.
Yeah, real significant effect happening on that 51 machine of Clayton Tilley. And I just seen him pull down to the bottom side, down the back straightaway. So maybe going to get some running repairs on that 51. As again, they're looking at so a lot of drivers are all fighting their way on the racetrack. Tim Smith going to lose a bunch more positions. Here comes Tanner Petit. He won the C main, and he's nearly inside the top 10.
That he did. He was plus, I believe, 11 or 12 in the C main. Now going to go way more than that if he can here in lap number 15 of this feature event. Huge slider coming there in 3 and 4. And Mason Hannigan going to go back to the inside. I believe that was Hannigan, correct?
Yeah, Hannigan in the 22. Then you got John Helms in the 21. So it's a battle of the 21, 22, and 24. Almost numerical numbers there. But tell you what, these drivers are outside of a top 10 just by a couple of positions. Some other big movers through the field. Aiden Forster from 15th up to position of 8. That's plus 7. Biggest mover through the field, Bryce Lucius from 21st. So second, the last row, the second last position. He's up in a position number 13. And he's just in front of this battle as he tries to get around Mason Hannigan.
Keep an eye on Lucius there. We're going to watch him on your screen there as he's running the high side, getting around Hannigan, going down the backstretch and into 3 he goes. He's going to choose the high side. Hannigan down low. He's going to leave the lane for that Lucius number 42 as we continue here on lap number 18.
Oh, you just got to wonder for the drivers that from the C and the B what they were able to accomplish and what they're able to keep in their memory banks for this main event, as this track is really starting to get slickened off, and pretty much like what we've seen it earlier on the night. Here is a good battle. Evan C, Logan Rumsey, they get by Kenny Hoffman. That's your battle for positions 2, 3, and 4. Hoffman had to take evasive action. He nearly got into the tail tank of that 41 machine. Rumsey all over the back of Evan C. Now here comes Hoffman on the inside of Logan Rumsey. Look for the daily double. The slide job, 2 for the price of 1. Kenny Hoffman says, yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Kenny Hoffman, a at 358 and micro sprint racer in the central Pennsylvania side of the state. And so plenty of real life racing experience, but plenty of iRacing experience here. That continued battle for the 3rd spot between Hoffman and Rumsey is going on here on your screen. And Evan C. With no intentions of what's going on behind him, just happy to hold on to that 2nd position, but James Edens checking out early in this one, over halfway through this feature event.
Yeah, 22 down and 18 to go for James Eden for the Swindell Speed Lab. In caliber 52, the battle on screen between Logan Rumsey and Kenny Hoffman. A couple of guys from PA. Logan Rumsey, a real-life racer in the micro sprint division as well as We Go Yellow. And that 1.2 second lead from James Edens to Evan C is now going to evaporate. And well, that's going to bring the field back up into a double file restart. Going to be crucial for two reasons. Obviously, James Edens, he's going to have control of the restart, but he's also going to have a clear track in front of him. But for the likes of Evan C, that 1.2 second gap that was separating him and James Edens, that goes back to nothing. That goes back to a double file restart, again, with an open track.
You got that right. So, I mean, open track, clean air, definitely going to play advantage for these drivers, for these leaders. So if you are Edens, you're definitely smiling there a little bit for that reason. But, you know, the lead that you had at one point is now gone, so not too thrilled about that. But an opportunity for some of those drivers we were watching come through the field, Lucius being one of them, Finsel another one. Some of these drivers are going to start making their way forward, and these caution flags are definitely a huge advantage for those drivers if they certainly have the car to get up through the field.
So again, just looking through the biggest movers through the field, Bryce Lucius at the moment +9, Aiden Forster +7, and that's about all. We got Mason Hannigan +5, along with Braden Finster. We've got probably 3 or 4 drivers that have moved up, plus 3 and 4 positions. Unfortunately for the likes of Clayton Tilley, Timothy Smith, -15 and -17. Ross Kaiser -15. So Kaiser, Tilley, Smith, not having a run, and you've got a feel for Smith and Tilley, because Tilley was obviously the race leader before that first caution happened, where he smacked the concrete wall trying to avoid the lap car that was just trying to get going. And then unfortunately for Smith, there was just contact from all around. So unlucky and heartbreak for those guys. We go back green as we've got 17 laps left to run, and we're going to go 3 wide for the race lead. Look at Gunnar Harris rolling the bottom side of the racetrack.
Gunnar Harris down low, and we've got a battle, a 3-car battle, 3 wide for that second spot. Car on the top side there, that is Evan C holding that second position.
Logan Rumsey following that 33 machine through turn number 1 and 2. C staying up on top of the cushion. Logan Rumsey used the cutback line. Here comes Blake Majulis working 3/4 of the way up the racetrack. And then you go back to Tyler Shell, who's trying to make a run. Aiden Forster as well. Forster being able to move up. Mason Hannigan now +8. Bryce Lucius +9, 10. Make that 11 position. Started 21st. And he's nearly inside the top 10. He's 1 spot out of a top 10. But boy, oh boy, it's really starting to hit up towards the front of the field one more time.
Never take or rule Blake Majulis out of this one. He was all the way back in positions 9 and 10, I believe, at one point. Now up into the 6th spot. He's got Gunnar Harris in front of him, and he's going to try to make a move here on him now.
Harris again continues to work the bottom side through turn number 1 and 2. He'll do the same once again into turns 3 and 4. Willie looks like he may just try and stay glued down to the bottom side. Blake Majulis again, 3/4 of the way up the racetrack. Meanwhile, Kenny Hoffman just in front of them. So you got 3 cars running 3 different lines. Blake Majulis jumps the cushion, doesn't get that burst of speed once they get into the concrete wall through 1 and 2. Then what they do in turn 3 and 4, Hoffman fends up the challenges. Hoffman sits 1 spot out of a podium position. And boy, I tell you what, Hoffman and Harris, well, I tell you what, although they're running different lines, they're really making a good run of this.
That they are, and it's definitely interesting to see that low side working so well for Gunnar Harris as he is still continuing to move up. Was in a battle for position there with Majulis. Majulis did fall back. He's starting to gain that ground a little bit, but the low line definitely has something for Harris. And if you are Eden, Say, and Rumsey, you're running a freight train around the top side right now with 8 laps remaining in this one. It's going to be interesting to see if a caution plays true, but if it does not, if we do stay, if green, in fact, we got to consider lap traffic.
Yeah, 8 to run, as just said. And again, now we watch this battle between Hoffman, Harris, and Majulis as they're going to go 3 wide, nearly down the back straight. Blake Majulis really just wound it up quickly, wrapped them up, and well, Gunnar Harris, although, yeah, it might be working for you on the bottom side, although you just got passed by Blake Majulis on the top side, who made him look a little silly there running on the top side. Majulis has got that 127 machine figured out up on the top side. Maybe it might be a different lane change coming from the 54 and the 11 of Kenny Hoffman, but here comes Majulis now, closing in on Logan Rumsey. Meanwhile, Evan C getting past the lap car there of Andrew Howes in that 37.
Yeah, but Joel is definitely, that car is getting faster in these closing laps here with 5 laps remaining. He's got Rumsey right on his tail tank now as they go down the front stretch across the flag stand and into one. Majulis all over the tail tank of Logan Rumsey.
Yes, this is the battle for the final position on the podium. You look at these top 4 drivers. Big slider down into turn 3 by Majulis on Rumsey. Rumsey seen it coming. He backed out on the entry to turn number 3. These top 4 drivers, World Championship experience right now. They know how to get around Eldora. They know how to run through the slick. They know how to run through sprint cars. Plain and simple, they just know how to drive here on iRacing.
Incredible battle. This is what we sign up for. Oh, contact there between Majulis and Rumsey there, and that's going to allow Hoffman to kind of close in a little bit there in the 5th spot. Now we've got a 3-car battle for 3rd.
Yeah, well, Kenny Hoffman, we weren't talking about him for much of the last probably 3 or 4 laps right in the middle part of the racetrack where it was all Logan Rumsey and Blake Majulis who were focused up on the top side of the racetrack. You've got a lap and a half left to run for your race leader. Meanwhile, James Edens, as he comes off turn number 4, he's about to put Braden Finsel a lap down. He's got 4 turns, half a mile. Your Apex, Auto Glass and Tinting main event for the final time. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3, out of turn number 4. He is going to be victorious here at Eldora. It's the house that Earl built, and it's now the house that Edens has conquered. Eldora Speedway, James Edens gets the win.
Evan Say we'll have to settle for second here tonight. Great run as the fireworks going off on the backstretch. Now we had him to start, we have him to finish. We had him all throughout those 40 laps there as Blake Majulis was 3rd, Logan Rumsey 4th. Tyler Schell quietly making up that 5th position.
All right, well, let's take a look at those official results coming up on your screen. Gunnar Harris comes home 6th, Aidan Beerline 7th, Mason Hannigan 8th, Aidan Forster 9th, and Blake Giglio rounds out your top 10.
Tanner Petit 11th, Austin Drucke in the 12th spot. Bryce Lucius will have to settle for 13th as he was making a charge there late in that one. Kenny Hoffman was 14th. Braden Finsel will finish 15th.
Andrew Hauser comes home 16th. John Holmes in position number 17. Timothy Smith, Clayton Tilley 18th and 19th. Ernie Williams Jr. in 20th. And Ross Kaiser, Ethan Toda to wrap up this field. I can confirm Mason Hannigan, your hard charger, from 18th. And what was, albeit a bit of lady luck in that C main where we had Garrett Pepiat run out of fuel and give the final transfer spot to Mason Hannigan. Hannigan goes from the C to the B to the A and now became your hard charger.
How many positions for those at home did he advance there?
10 positions in just tonight's A main.
Not a bad run for Little Hurricane there. Definitely has it in his blood.
Yes, he's he's one of those drivers that, has got the World Championship knowledge and the experience, really playing out here tonight in the 410 Wing Sprint Car Series. And Tyler, pretty much a similar racetrack to what we've seen almost be at the start of the night where we had a black slick racetrack. Again, we've got a black slick racetrack, although it looks like there's a bit more moisture, more so towards like the middle part of the racetrack down to that inside wall on both the front straightaway and back straightaway.
Yeah, Gunnar Harris definitely tried to make it happen, but just was not enough there for him. Just too strong of runs there for your leaders in your podium, for that matter. Take a look at what was going to be an instant replay, but a beautiful aerial view there. Probably some highlights to go over what was this 40-lap feature event.
All right, well, let's go trackside. We'll chat to the driver that comes home in 3rd place tonight, driving that 127 Industries entry. It is Blake Majulis. Blake, congratulations on 3rd place. And, well, again, you had to make it a little difficult for yourself. You were, I want to say you weren't the greatest at the start of that one, but that car really came to you towards the back end of that feature.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of mistakes. I got in the wall a couple times, and I honestly had quite a bit of damage too. I got a lot of incidents and just made a lot of mistakes, but I just got to get a little bit more consistent, get good runs in and not just, 5 good laps and 2 bad ones. Got to make them all count, and that's the only place I'm really struggling right now, but hopefully as I get some more laps in them, it won't be too bad.
I mean, obviously, just quickly, using this as sort of a stepping stool for the World Championships for you and your CFM Esports and your Majulis Speed Shop customers. How much do you take away from this one and prepare your guys for this coming Monday?
Yeah, it's definitely a good one. I think this one tonight specifically was good because there's so many cars in this league that you can kind of see what the track's going to do, and not only a rapid fashion because there's so many, but just how it's going to change throughout the night. And you got to take those things, especially starting in the afternoon to night. The cushion usually builds up a lot more, so you got to compensate for that. And obviously, just keeping an eye on what the track's doing is pretty much primarily what you want to look for when you're building the setup and when you're adjusting it to how you need it, especially to be consistent. And like I said before, when consistency wins races, and 5 good ones and 2 bad ones isn't going to win. So that's at the end of the day, it comes down to getting something that can run consistent laps and smooth, of course.
Okay, yeah. So, Blake, a really intense battle there at the end of the race between yourself and Rumsey. That's got to feel good, though, overcoming that one to get yourself in that final podium position. How did you feel the car was handling there in the late stages of the race? It really looked like, from our perspective, it was coming alive.
Yeah, it really was. Wish I got a yellow a little bit later. Like I said, I got in the wall a couple times. It hurt my right rear a little bit. It made me just kind of feel a little off balance compared to how I started. But I felt really, really good on the top there at the end. Like I said, wish I could have got a yellow. But at that point, I was just sending it up there. Whatever happened, happened, and came out third. So it's a good night.
People you'd like to thank for this endeavor here for your season.
Yeah, I appreciate it very much. Majula Say Speed Shop, CFM Esports, Race XR, WR1 Sim Chassis, Chad Wheeler, Represent Limited, Reliable Energy Solutions, Design 75, ML Performance. You guys for broadcasting and everyone that watch, I appreciate it.
Evan C., an incredible run there as you come up here, runner up. Let's go ahead and talk about your race there. What was it like from your perspective there for the 40-lap event?
Yeah, I mean, it was just wide open around the top for, it seemed like 30 laps there. And, Eden's was just a little bit better than us around the top. I think we could match his times, but, couldn't really gain on him enough to make a pass. But just missing a little bit. But, I think I know what we needed there. But, overall, still a good race for us. Definitely happy with the speed we had and, looking forward to the next race.
Yeah, we head to Cedar Lake next week rather. What's your perspective going into next week? Are you confident with where the team is at, where the car is at, where you are at personally as well going into next week?
I actually don't think I'll be able to race next week. I might, but I think if we were, I mean, we're still, we've had good speed, at every track. It seems like from the short tracks to the big tracks. So, definitely confident with what we're bringing, each week. And, I'm sure, at Cedar Lake, we ran pretty good in there last season, I think, in Apex. So, I'm sure we'll have some pretty good speed.
Coming in the closing stages of that race, did you feel the car was improving on itself? Did you feel it was maybe losing itself a little bit? How did you feel as the race progressed there?
I mean, I felt kind of the same the whole race. I mean, generally, you can tell the first laps if you're going to have a pretty good car. And, I don't think we was the best. Like I said, I think Eden's was just a little bit better than us on the top. But, I mean, I felt good enough in the beginning of the race that we could at least run up front and, challenge, for top 3 there. And, that's what we did, and trying to keep it out of the wall and, not make any mistakes on the top.
People that you would like to thank for this racing season?
Yeah, just gotta thank everybody at CFM Esports, Agility Speed Shop, Captain Morgan, WR1 Sim Chassis. Thank you guys for broadcasting for us and everybody who put on this league for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was your defending points champion, Evan Say, in the 28 car, finishing second here tonight. Let's go ahead and talk to tonight's race winner. Congratulations there, James Edens. A impressive victory for you there. It looked like a Clean Air was definitely going to play to your favorite there. Clean Air through this 40-lap feature event, especially in those closing laps, definitely played its dividends. You were able to keep your nose clean, keep yourself up front, keep yourself out of trouble. What was going through your mind there throughout the course of that 40-lap feature event?
Yeah, we just had to keep it out of the wall. That was the big thing. 40 laps around there's a long time. So just keep it clean, keep it off the wall, and keep it going forward.
What was the strategy heading into this race?
Uh, Survive. I mean, really, Eldora can be, it's either really good for us or really bad. With you're going fast along the wall there, so any little mistake can get you. But just get out front, get the clean air, and control the race.
James, I believe you were the winner at Knoxville on the opening week, so another win here tonight definitely puts yourself as a front runner in the point standings in a stout field for that matter. How does it feel to be so successful early on in the season?
It feels good. We had a bad week at I-55, so to get wins the other 2 weeks are definitely good. We'll just keep running strong, and hopefully we can be a champion here.
Looking ahead to next week, we're going to Cedar Lake. How do you rank up there at Cedar Lake? How do you feel going into this?
It's all right. It's probably not my best track, but definitely not my worst. So, hopefully we can get another top 5 and keep going.
You sat sixth in points going into tonight, definitely improving your position here. People that you would like to thank for making this all happen for you.
I got to thank Speed Lab and Slick Sim Sport, Bear Archery, K1 Race Gear, Bell Helmets, and Dominator Designs and Wraps.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the gentleman out of California, your winner here tonight at the Eldora Speedway. It was James Edens in the 52 car here tonight getting it done. I tell you what, it was an impressive night of racing, Blake. A lot of action throughout the course of the night, not just in the heat races, in the consies, and especially in this 40-lap feature event. A lot of action to talk about, a lot of action to cover. But I think we got the job done nonetheless.
Yeah, it was fantastic from start to finish, from right to the opening lap of the heat, right up until the end of that final lap of that A main. As you said, battles all throughout this field. We could probably talk about this race this whole night rather, for the next probably 10 to 15 minutes. But I mean, at the end of the day, a great racetrack. Again, 22 wonderful drivers, and for the drivers, for the people that might be still watching that have anything to do with official racing, a near 6,000 strength to field race for these 22 drivers. We see Pro Series, World Qualifying, World Championships qualifiers. We have 6,500, 6,800. Close to 7,000 strength to field. That just goes to show that the drivers that we have here on the service. They're here not only to have fun, but they're here to win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Consi is a win at that point. I mean, just to even get yourself in a position to win a Consi is definitely an impressive feat. I've really enjoyed my time here in the early stages, and I think the viewers at home too are getting to enjoy a really quality product here on iRacing, especially in this Apex Autoglass 410 Sprint Car Championship Series.
Yeah, well, we'll continue on to next week at the Cedar Lake Speedway for the 410s, and also we'll be back on Wednesday night for the 360 for the Next Level Designs 360 Sprint Car Series. You can catch all that action here on Ultimate TV. But until then, it's been a wonderful night, Ty. It's great to work with you one more time, and no doubt we'll be working with you again next week as well.
That sounds like a plan. We hope that all of you watching at home will tune in for that as well. The 360 and the 410s next week at Cedar Lake. Can't wait. We'll see you then.